Hello and welcome to another video on beginner tutorial series, and in today's video we are going to discuss two Power Query functions, and those functions are Table.SingleRow. Table.SingleRow takes a table and just check it out whether there is a single row or not. If there is an exactly single row, then it gives the output, otherwise it's going to throw an error. So if table does not contain one row, the error is been raised. So returns a single row of one row table. So if one row, then it's going to return it, otherwise it's going to raise the error. Now then the second function which we are going to learn, which is basically a very simple function, Table.Repeat. You give a table and that many times it repeats the data. So these are the function. Now right now you might be asking what is the uses of these functions. So right now means like Table.Repeat might seems like something which why do I need it, but what happens like when you are having the data between something and you want to repeat it at that many number of times, then it would be helpful. It may be sometime you want to join, at that time you want to partition the table, at that time it could be really helpful. So those are the few places where it could be helpful. So let's go to Power BI now. Let's jump onto the Power BI. And in Power BI, I would like to go to the Power Query. So for what I'm going to do, under the Home tab, I'm going to go to Transform Data, and there is another option, Transform Data, under it. So I'm going to click on that and I'll reach to Power Query. And in Power Query, I want to first of all, let's say I want to begin with the single row. So I have quite a few tables which are having multiple rows. So what I can do, I can check out by creating a new table, does these have the single row or not. Okay, so what we can do here is we can go to new source blank query. And once this query is created, I can double click or right click rename. I can say single row, and I'll right click and open the advanced editor. Under the home tab, there is also an option for the same thing, the advanced editor. Now here I want to check table dot single row. So I click on that table dot single row, and now I can give table 1 or table 2, and we are expecting that it might throw an error because we have more than one row. So it's taking a little bit of time, but it throws an error that there is not enough elements in the individual to complete the operation, but we know that it's getting more than one row. So what we are going to do, let's quickly create one table which can have that many rows. So let's call it st1 single or sr1 single row 1, and let's only give one value here, 1 a, and second value we can give here 1, and third we can give here, let's say 10. We're just creating one single row. We say okay. Now we got this one. Now here we can go and modify this code, and here let's try to give sr1 as the table name, and let's see what happens. Now you can see it returns one record. So it returns that one record where the table is available, and you can definitely convert it into a table if needed. So only if there is a single row, it's going to return you the success. Otherwise, it's going to return you error. And based on that, if you want to take some decision, you can do that. Now the second function which we wanted to test, basically now let's go to that function. So the function we wanted to have a test is basically Table.Repeat. We want to repeat the information. So let's go to the Power BI, Power Query again, and let's try to do that. So home, and we can again say new source blank query. So let's try to see if we can repeat the table 1. What happens in that case? So right click again. Let's first of all rename by double clicking, and we can say repeat. And let's create a new table advanced editor. In go into the advanced editor, in that one now we are going to modify this code of the new table, and we'll say table dot repeat, and in the table dot repeat we are going to take a table. So let's write down table 1, and let's say we want to repeat it twice. So you can see that the same records have been repeated two times. So we got this table twice. If I change it to 3 times, it's going to go ahead and repeat 3 times. So very simple function, and we can repeat it any number of times what we want. Same way I could have used SR here instead of this one. In SR I will not need, don't need this one SR1. I can simply go ahead and see there was only one row. I repeated it 3 times. I got 3 rows. So in this manner, we can actually repeat the information what we have. Very simple functions. So go ahead and try this out. Now, what happens in Power Query? You have so many functions for every possible uses which you can think of, and you will come across the use cases where these functions could be really helpful. So go ahead and try these out and do let me know what else you want me to consider in this particular series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.